Hey everyone, Kane here, and in this one we're gonna talk about the skeletons and how hard they were hit in PvP and sieging. So the update came, I tried a couple of fights, and will just provide my own, overview or review or whatever you may want to call it in terms of what happened to them. So you have to keep in mind that I do have very high resistance skeletons, so in a lot of the early battle, my skeletons don't really take that much damage. So do keep in mind, if your resistances are a lot lower, your skeletons will just be cleared rather quite quickly. So it's the same as I said in the previous video, that if you don't have high resistance skeletons, they're just gonna be destroyed rather quite quickly. Like, you can't even play them in early game anymore. And talking about mid game as well, unsure that they would even pose a very huge threat. Like, mages just body them in terms of like the speed and stuff like that. So I have a couple of fights, one against a little bit higher core and the other against a little bit stronger person, just to more or less showcase you how fast is the possibility of them being able to clear your stall side. So I faced this 15 million person, VIP 15. So as you know, he spent quite a bit more money. And then let's see what happened in the fight. So do keep in mind that this person doesn't have a lot of stats on the stalkers and doesn't have a lot of resistances. So we're gonna be watching how fast do these skeletons disappear without like proper resistances and stuff like that. So basically the battle just starts against burst versus burst. The burst is I'm gonna win it because again it's ability casts, buffs, debuffs, placement of the abilities and stuff like that, and of course the levels of particular heroes and their stats. And I had a bit more than his, placements were a little bit better and stuff like that, and I managed to out DPS him. So we're gonna more or less be checking how fast these skeletons will be cleared after the burst side falls. Now usually it takes about a decent amount of time to actually like be able to clear them, right? It's not instant. Usually take about 45 to 1 minute or so to be able to fully clear them. Excuse me. So 30 seconds into the battle, I bypassed his burst side, and now let's check how fast I'm clearing these stalkers. So do keep in mind, 3 stalkers almost instantly going to 0%. Invincibility's boom, disappear. Do keep in mind this is on 1x. This side going invincibility, skeletons disappearing. Doesn't matter if it revives, 1 auto and they're gone. Look, invincibility, most of them procced. Invincibility finishes, they just disappear. And that's pretty much what happened to skeletons. It doesn't really matter if the guy is weaker or not. The skeletons reviving right now are not even just by little buying you that time or stuff like that. And since skeletons don't really have that much defenses in terms of the buffs and whatever, like sure they have Gazzle and the revive, but their revive is dog shit useless right now. So the only defensive, and I do mean defensive buff they have, is a stackable 20% damage reduction buff and an invincibility, and that's pretty much it. So without Covenant, you can't really even play them anymore if you don't have the proper set. And I'm not like flaming this guy or stuff like that. I'm just more or less providing my own point of view per se. So I faced quite a few stronger guys as well. I think majority of them I faced their burst sides and stuff like that. I didn't really win them. I did kill, for example, this guy has a fully maxed out dragon. I did manage to kill majority of his archers. Did manage to kill some of his heroes, but he's too far above my league for me to even have like a slither of a chance to win. He can just auto battle me. So Started against his sort of a burst side archer straight on my dragon, also hero burst side. So from the get-go, I had a pretty huge disadvantage to even fight in this fight, but I managed to kill some heroes, kill some archers. But the main point of view is just gonna be checking how fast these squads are disappearing in terms of the fight. So these skeletons already at like 20 seconds, majority of them just gone, right? Just gone, non-existent. Then 25 seconds, he's gonna be finishing the last couple of ones to invincibility because of the debuffs, all that kind of stuff. And then he casted Valerie again. Look at how fast they're disappearing. That's 23. This entire squad is gone in 4.5 seconds. Fully gone 4.5 seconds. So this guy fully cleared me in 47. Do keep in mind, I did manage to kill quite a few of his heroes, even Avril, a couple of his archers, and he still fully cleared me in 47 seconds. If he faced my stall side, he would have cleared my stall side in 20 seconds, probably, if not even faster. So, I mean, of course, yeah, the person is a lot higher tier, and that is what I'm also kind of showing. Because if you're gonna be facing a little bit like stronger people, this is almost no longer the race to actually be able to beat stronger people, is what I'm trying to say, as it was before. So we're likely gonna have to look for someone else to have like a similar build, a similar sort of slightly cheesy, slightly properly adjusted feel to be able to be competitive and stuff like that. So I'm likely just gonna wait for Covenant, test out Covenant on these skeletons, and then go across a few races, testing out majority of their armies and seeing how they perform. So I'll be trying out, I think, Dwarf Engineers after Covenant, then Blade Masters. I don't think I will try Sylvanic Cavaliers. I don't think they even have a chance to survive. And after that, I will try to swap the Research, then try Swordmen, and then try Trees as well, and quite a few of them, and see how they perform. Unfortunately, they did kind of destroy this race to the point it's like, for a lot of people, it's not even any longer playable, and I'm not even joking, like it is just destroyed. So the only thing this race can actually still do is somewhat, and I do mean somewhat, be able to defend their wall defenses with proper setups, right? And I do mean somewhat. It's no longer overpowered, but still there are possibilities. So prior to update, I did siege this guy. He had like 20, 30 plus million HP skeletons, or even more. Tier 19 with Covenant finished, with higher tier Dragon in terms of like Draconic stuff, and also he had Void Eater on like 4 or 5 skeleton squads, I'm not sure. And in 9 tries, I managed to get 50% of his wall defense and make like 3 or 4 skeleton squads still remain alive out of like 8 or so he fielded. Unfortunately, I was out of guild, so I don't have replay. And after the patch, I didn't really even need to try like multiple formations. First formation, 50% wall HP gone, and I think like 1 or 2 squad skeletons remaining. I swapped my field, and I fully destroyed him with like 30 seconds left in terms of the field. And he did have the same field as he did before, with same buff, same thing, same whatever. That is how hard the event, rather the update, kind of hit the skeletons. So instead of nerfing Void Eater, they literally just destroyed the skeletons because of Void Eater. So the race, or other skeletons in general, are not really that like able to be played anymore, or so to speak. So yeah, do keep that in mind. That yeah, they're kind of gone. So people are gonna kind of required to test other races as well, with I guess me included, and see what you're able to do. I think I would be able to do a similar thing as I do with skeletons, likely with blade masters or human swordmen. Pretty much the reasons as to they are pretty similar, right? They have revivals in terms of variant and whatever. However, those units also have a lot better resistances. So basically, if we take just this unit in general, right? He has 20% damage reduction increase, right? 20%. That's it. Like, he has an additional second invincibility. That's it. Like, the revival of Gazelle doesn't even matter anymore. It's null. It's zero. It's voided. Doesn't matter. So, for example, Swordmen have 2 buffers. Gazelle is like a solo buffer. Gazelle dies pretty much. Skeletons lose like 100% stuff. Instead of like 2 heroes having a lot of buffs, a lot of resistances, Crusader shield from Virion as well. All those kinds of things. It just makes it so that this unit in general is just completely destroyed to the point it's almost worthless without a proper build. So I do think like now even Blade Masters are tankier. I do think even like Swordmen are tankier and stuff like that. So I think even friggin' Dwarf Engineers are tankier, because I even faced a field, I think, a few patches ago, and I even managed to lose against a guy same core, because those friggin' engineers just went into my backline without taking much damage from my mages and just friggin' stun my mages left and right. So I'm gonna try even those and see how they go. Mainly because they have high resistances, and of course, let me just quickly show you another thing before ending the video, which kind of is interesting, but I'm not really sure how well this thing will be used. So, they start the battle with 130% HP shield. So basically, if they have like 7 million, they're gonna start the battle with like a 10 million HP shield. So they already have quite a lot, and they don't have morale collapse for as long as the shield persists. So since their squad is a little bit smaller, they're gonna take less area damage. They also have like buffers, debuffers in terms of the dwarf race, all that kind of stuff. They're humanoid, you can have morale boost on them as well. So Virion will come back to play with more resistances, all those kinds of things. As well as they have this particular thing, which I am interested in. Enhanced with 35% bonus armor. So if I have 98% resistances, likely I'm gonna be closer to 99 when I finish the Covenant, all that kind of stuff. I want to know how well they would actually hold out, as well as their Covenant, Divine Ability. One moment, basic attacks have a chance to stun enemy troops, dealing extra damage, and giving the attacker a shield with the effect 20% of the unit's max HP once every 10 seconds. So basically, throughout the battle, you can actually provide them shields. So it really depends how well they would be able to hold out with the Divine Covenant, and how well of a buffs you have on the field and stuff like that. It is a make or break, right? I'm not saying they're OP, but I'm kind of interested to try them out, and if they fail, I will likely just turn to friggin' Blade Masters or Swordmen or stuff like that. So it's just pretty interesting to me, because I did manage to lose a fight against that, and honestly, it sparked, or rather piqued my interest. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Honestly, a pretty huge hit, and kind of became, excuse me, unplayable. But yeah, just because of a Void Eater. And now imagine, guys, if they come up one day and they do fix the Void Eater, how friggin' hard would they have fucked up an entire race just because they failed to adjust one ability in a proper time, when like 100 people plus report that one ability? I mean, bro. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Do let me know in the comments down below how hard it affected you as well, and how hard you're being slapped left and right in terms of PvP. As well as if you wish to support me more than just watching my videos, I have made a Patreon page where you would be able to do that, as well as I would be able to assist you more individually. Also, I would like to thank my first Patreon, Scott. Do appreciate the subscription. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Take care and stay safe out there.